Nigeria, the most populous black country across the world, with over 260 million citizens, is no doubt holding a strategic position in Africa and the world at large. This country is blessed with so many human and natural resources, but yet facing so many challenges ranging from insecurity to corruption, inflation, and some even calling for cessation. No doubt, there is a need for urgent discussion and a map out to rescue the nation from total collapse. Joining us to discuss the issues of the nation as it affects the country Nigeria is no other person than a former Commissioner of Environment and Transportation in Lagos State, Southwest Nigeria at different times. He was one time the National Legal Advisor of All Progressives Congress, also the former chairman of AMCON. He is a lecturer, he is a senior advocate of Nigeria, he is a member of Body of Benchers, and he is a politician. Join me as I welcome Dr. Muiz Banire. When you hear the word Nigeria, what comes to your mind?
Nigeria? Well, it depends on the angle or the perspective of Nigeria you want to look at. For example, historically or currently, depending on where, for example, it used to be a great country historically. Everybody will attest to that one. In fact, that was when it earned the appellation Giant of Africa. But today, of course, we are all living witnesses to the state of the country. Everybody is worried about it, and it's beginning to be as if that entity called Nigeria itself is a project that is severely challenged now, and that is what it is.
All right, now let's talk about this. Majorly, some years back, we were fighting the issue of insecurity, and basically we're fighting Boko Haram as a country. So many things were happening in the north. We have insecurity here and there. But now it has moved further to banditry, kidnapping. And unfortunately, children are now the soft targets. How do we get to this?
I do know, as a matter of fact, that where we are today cannot be diverted from the economic situation of the country. It's not about the reality that people are engaging in one criminality or the other. The truth is that when the economy is terribly bad, people get to a level of desperation, and so many shortcuts start evolving. And I think that's what we are currently facing. People have reached boiling point, so each person tries to look for means of survival, illegal or otherwise. They don't care again, because when you get to a level that, if, for example, you take a gamble of criminality and you succeed, you stay alive. If you don't, you die of starvation. Then it becomes worrisome. And unfortunately, when these people are jobless, particularly they fall into the category, I think about 33% of the youthful fold with a lot of energy and the need to survive. So in such circumstances, you seem not to have a choice than to confront this kind of situation of insecurity that we are having currently. And some policies of government are not even helping matters at all. So to that extent, I will personally want to view the challenges we are seeing in terms of security from the perspective of the economy. And except you are able to improve the economic situation of the country, for me, I strongly believe that we are heading nowhere. No amount of force can resolve where we are now. There's a lot of conspiracies going on here and there, mafias developing, and a lot of them like that. So the only way to stem it is to improve the economy.
When you were talking, you said something about some policies of the government that's not helping the situation. The ball stops on the desk of the current administration. Do you think they're doing enough to arrest the situation of insecurity in the country?
I'm not convinced that enough is being put in place, particularly in terms of economic policy. To start with, there's a major challenge that honestly, I do not hear anything from the Minister for Finance. I get worried always. I hear nothing about the economy from the Minister of Finance or the Minister of State for Finance in charge of economic planning and budget. Most of the time you hear from the central bank. And the central bank, in all other jurisdictions, are not the people that dictate the economic policies. And from what we are seeing, and my submission, my conviction, the central bank experiments daily with the economy. They experiment. And you can't continue to experiment and expect it to improve. Today, there's so much uncertainty, for example, in the financial system. Who will come and invest in a country where the policies are unstable? The financial system is unstable. We hear of somersault daily. Today, you can't take dollar out. Tomorrow, you can take this one. Next tomorrow, we ban cryptocurrency. All manners of policy somersault, particularly from the central bank. I believe that in my very strong belief, the federal is doing more evil to the economy than they are even helping the economy. Every day, the policies they bring out. For example, I was telling somebody that, okay, you are looking for dollar desperately. You are asking people in diaspora when they remit money, you give 5 naira or 4 naira or whatever it is. And you are just saying that people cannot put cash dollar in their bank account. Is it not senseless? Today, I tell you, if it's possible to raid houses, to search all houses in Nigeria, you see substantial number of dollars stored in their houses. Exactly. Some of them were being in bank, and in which you can improve the economy, trade with it, do a lot of things with it. But because you are saying they can't put it there, okay, they hide it one place or the other all over the whole place, or some even can take it outside the country. So there are so many policies somersault. Today, you cannot go to your banker and say you want to invest or you want to do this one. What do you think is the position of the regulatory? All they will tell you is that we are not sure. So today this is it, but by the time we wake up tomorrow, they might bring out another one. That is the situation. No country grows in that kind of scenario. So for me, they need to take over completely the economic direction of the country from CBN, because they have shown clearly that they are grossly incompetent to handle the situation. So we have an economic team that has not been given the necessary wherewithal, in my own view, of paddling the economy for us. You need people. The Ministry of Finance, I don't know what they are doing. In fact, in other countries, you don't see the Central Government being the face of the economy every day. It's the one that addresses it, it's the one that releases policy here and there every day. No, it doesn't work. There is a cabinet in place. There are people charged within the cabinet with this responsibility. It's not central bank. It's monetary policies essentially that they are meant to be dealing with, not policies. It's the central bank that will wake up and say, I ban this, I ban that. It's the central bank that will say, I'm giving money to agree. It's the central bank things that does not even concern. In fact, they went so badly and derailed so badly at the point in time that they started even supervising the building of, what do you call that thing during COVID? The camp they were building all over the whole place. No, you have a job to do. That job, you are not doing well.
So basically,
the economy is sinking daily.
The economy is a major challenge we are having.
It is the fundamental problem we have. It is the one that is giving birth to all the other social ills that we are confronted today with.
But is this assertion generally that the major challenge we have in this country has to do with corruption? That most of the policies that we see in place, the reason why they are not flying well in Nigeria is due to the fact that corruption has eaten deep into our system. And I can recall vividly that when this current administration was coming on board in 2015, one of the major campaign strategy was to kill corruption or eradicate corruption as a stakeholder. Do you think the attitude of this government, this position of this current administration at the federal level is showing any sign of eradicating corruption?
You see, the problem with that aspect, which I've been interrogating for long, is that each time we see the corrupted agencies trying to address the challenges of corruption, I just laugh. Why do I laugh? Corruption is an all-pervasive thing. It's huge. The compass is wide. But what we have succeeded in doing in the last couple of years, which I've been saying, is that we are not fighting corruption. We are only doing loot recovery. Loot recovery is just an infinitesimal portion of corruption. Just this one has stolen, we run after it. That is not fighting corruption. Here, ICPC, for example, is even trying, because part of what is to do is not about going to running after the fact that crime has been committed. No, even as an institution intending to fight corruption, you must be able to address leakages. How? You must be able to study processes yourself. For example, take procurement processes in ministries. You must on your own study where you see gaps. You must be able to suggest, no, this is not what must happen. This is the way it must start happening. Through that means you are able to bridge the lacuna, the gap there. At the point in time, I used to advocate that, for me, let if only the religious leaders from the pulpit every Sunday or Friday can even be cursing them, the thing will come down. I'm telling you, it will come down. But a situation where we just concentrate on loot recovery, for how long can you go? With even the kind of administration of criminal justice system we have, how far can you go?
What's wrong with our criminal justice system? Maybe I should take it off.
It's sluggish because there are so many impediments against a speedy delivery. So many impediments. That is another topic. We can take a whole month discussing that. Or too many. Is it infrastructure? Is it mobilization? Is it welfare of judges? Is it quality of judges? Which one do you want to address? Too many. So once you know that, it's better to prevent the act rather than you even trying to enforce.
But why are we not having a direction towards this line in the policies we see as against fighting corruption?
Well, you see, the challenge we have, again, back to policy. There are some retrogressive policies we have in the country. Take quota system, federal character, all those useless things. For example, I do not share in them because you end up most time putting a wrong hand in a position. That's what we end up with. Why can't for once, in one breath, you want us to be patriotic as a Nigerian. In another breath, you are canvassing quota and federal character. I used to use a narrative of somebody, a student who scored maybe 240 out of 300 in a JAMB exam and couldn't get in because of the state of origin, whereas somebody with lower got in. Do you think that person will be patriotic each time he remembers that somebody else, because he was born so place, had to get admission and I couldn't get because I was born somewhere else? No. You can't be patriotic in that kind of situation. What is patriotism? We are defeating it ourselves. So for me, all these policies, they are policy issues. We just have to wake up and agree collectively to say, no, enough is enough. Let's look for our best hand to put in any position. I do not want to know whether you are from the north. I do not want to see whether you are from the east or from the west. What matters to me is that you are performing. It's not happening because, like I said to you, we don't have the right kind of people in position. And it's not likely that we have them soon.
Why did you say so?
I am pessimistic about it. Very pessimistic that they will emerge. Particularly with this electoral system we have, I know our journey is still far.
Okay, we'll come to that. Let's go. You're going into politics already, and I want to take you into that. I remember vividly that at the time when President Muhammad Buhari was coming in 2015, you were a part of the strategic team and campaign team. At that point, you eventually became the national legal advisor of the party. Now, the opposition parties have been complaining about the attitude of Mr. President towards some of the things you have raised here and towards the development of the country. As a major stakeholder, what do you share with the submission? Do you think the president is not doing enough?
Let me tell you the reality. The man has confessed to all of us from his section. He said, age has caught up with me.
Age?
Age. It's a factor. It's a major factor in this business. We've been in government before. Those things I could do when I was commissioner in Lagos, I can't do them again, even at now. Possible for me. In those days, I could do 3 days without sleeping. I dare not do it now. That's the reality. To what extent can the president jump all over Nigeria to supervise issues? Or to even go through fights? It's not possible. That's the reality. Unfortunately, those who ought to help are not helping again due to the fact that they are not the best product.
Are you talking about the cabinet members?
Oh yes, and other people in various public offices. A lot of them don't even know what they are doing as far as I'm concerned.
So APC as a body and as a party now has a fundamental problem of leadership.
You know me, I've ceased to be a member of ACC since 2018. You
are not a party man now? Okay.
I'm not a politician even at all.
As you speak now?
I've deserted them. I've deserted all of them.
Okay, why did you decide?
Because I'm not impressed with what is going on. I'm not impressed at all. That's the reality. This is not what I consider that we all bargained for.
Can you remember that 2015, Nigerians actually voted for President Muhammad Buhari and APC because they felt like the PDP was failing them at that point in time. And APC came on the mantra of change. In your opening speech, you said you don't see this young people or you don't see good leaders coming on board anytime soon. What is the way out?
Well, for me, I've told you, the electoral system as it is, as President Constitution said, it's not likely to lead to any good product in terms of elected officials. In fact, I'm beginning to think radically that even the power of franchise has to be reviewed. I studied the franchise system in the United States. I studied the one in the United Kingdom, and I saw that it took decades, in fact centuries, not even decades, for everybody to start voting. In Nigeria, everybody votes, and I tell you for free, without fear of contradiction, over 70% of those who determine who our leaders are in Nigeria do not even understand the reason they are voting, much less knowing the candidate they are voting for or the reason they are voting.